How to resist bad habits. These pictures here were taken around like 2019, 2020. I was around like 17, 18 years old at the time. And I can just remember how much I used to always crave and search for this like external source of happiness, aka bad habits, whether it be alcohol, video games, fapping, junk food. I'd always feel like I need something external because I don't really like who I am internally. So honestly, I was extremely uneducated at the time. As you can see in these pictures, like as soon as the weekend would roll around, I'd feel like I just had to drink with my friends because I need to fit in. If my friends are doing bad habits, I need to do bad habits with them. I didn't really like value who I was as a person. All this led to was me just getting like insane feelings of guilt, regret, shame. I was just stuck in this cycle of constantly searching for like external happiness, which deep down I knew just wasn't the right thing. When I just kept engaging in these instant gratification habits, I'd start to slowly realize like all I'm doing is stealing happiness from the future version of myself. So today I'm going to go over what really helped me to like overcome my addictions, to just try my best with just like resisting and eliminating bad habits. First off, why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Adrian. I've been training in the gym for 6+ years. I've experienced what it's like to be heavily addicted to instant gratification and would now say I am just a bit disciplined. It feels purposeful for me to help others strive for improvement in all areas of self development. Finally, I'm proud of the progress in which I have made and feel like sharing it with you will only help accelerate your very own progress. Before we get started, quick plug, I'm currently doing one-on-one coaching calls. Whether you're looking to enhance your personal development, boost your confidence, or overcome challenges, our dedicated coaching sessions are tailored to meet your unique needs and goals in any specific area of self-improvement. Links in the description if you're interested. And finally, make sure to subscribe to get these educational guides more often on your homepage instead of like the shitty clickbait entertainment videos you watch every night, which honestly provide you with zero value. You don't learn anything from them. They just leave you feeling like, why the hell did I waste my time watching that? Subscribe to this channel. My goal is to provide you with as much educational content as I can. My promise to you is that at the end of this video, you will not only learn what drastically helped me defeat my addictions, but you will feel more motivated to take action and become equipped with the education needed to implement these learnings in your own life. So there's 3 parts of this video. 1, lust. 2, video games. And 3, sugar. So number 1, we have lust. The younger version of me would constantly lose focus, would constantly feel regret, shame, guilt, because I'd always fall into my feelings of like lust. And honestly, all this does is it just steals focus, motivation from the future you. My best advice is for you to just stop entertaining these urges, as you're going to have a higher chance of not doing that bad habit. You say to yourself, this is my last fap, but every single night you fall into the same cycle of, oh, this is the last time. Oh, tomorrow. You're addicted, bro. And you don't like this addiction. You want to get out of it. So first off, unsubscribe from all these triggers. Unfollow and remove all these things and that are all these like triggers that make you more likely to commit this action. So go through your Instagram list, unfollow all of the models you follow, unfollow all of girls you know that are making you fall into this desire, because at the end of the day, if you're on self-improvement, you want to improve your focus and productivity as much as you can. You want to be able to get as much work done to invest and promote the future version of yourself. So why not go through a period of time of just removing and blocking all these external distractions? Because all that it's making you do is it's making you a whole lot more likely to just fulfill your desires, which I'm not saying you should never fulfill your desires, but realize that you're probably heavily addicted and this is just taking up so much time from your overall self-development. Whenever you commit this action like fapping, hub, etc., let's be honest, bro, you just get these feelings of guilt, shame, regret. You just ask yourself, why the hell did I commit that action? Now I just can't even be bothered going to the gym. Now I'm not going to build the body I want. Now I'm not going to be able to impress the girl I want. My life's just going downhill. It all links. So unsubscribe and like unfollow all the useless content you constantly see that's on your social media accounts. Whenever I'd get this desire of, fuck, I need a fap. Whenever you get this urge, just say no loud and firm and try your best to just go on and do another task, like such as work, something that's semi-productive. The younger Adrian was constantly filling his spare time up with like instant gratification shit that's not really productive. So you'd think that when I'm doing shit that's not productive, I'm constantly bored. I'm constantly searching for something external. When you're not progressing towards like a certain goal, what makes you think you're going to do no fap? You just have too much time on your hands. You're doing nothing with your life. You have no purpose. So when you have no purpose, you're like, oh, what's the point of this? I'm just going to fap. I'm just going to play video games. I'm just going to eat junk food, because you have no purpose. Try find your purpose. And like, how do you find your purpose in life? Well, there's a book in which I read. It's called The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. This book pretty much teaches you like how to find your purpose, what purpose actually is, and like how to attack and reduce like sexual desires, how to be a more like masculine man. Let's say you're the type of guy who's struggling to find your purpose. You don't know what purpose means. You work, you go to gym, but like you don't really know what to do in like your spare time. you don't really have a goal to strive for other than like gym and work. An actionable step for you to take to, let's say, start to find your purpose, to start feeling more productive throughout the day, is to try your best to reduce and eliminate all distractions. When I slowly started to combat this and start not giving into my cravings and desires as often, I started to figure out like, oh, I actually like teaching stuff. So why don't I start like making videos? Why don't I start reading books so I can become a better speaker, so I can teach more efficiently and effectively? I understand everyone finds their purpose at different stages of life, but I want you to be aware. I want you to realize that by you constantly giving into your cravings, you're doing your future self no good. You're probably never going to find your purpose in the long run if you're constantly searching for this external sort of lust, happiness, and shit like that. Number two, we have video games. Leveling up in the real world is far better than leveling up in a video game. So as I've said plenty of times, I used to be severely addicted to video games, playing them up until 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. with like my old group of friends every single night. Even on days when I like had to wake up earlier the next day, I'd still sacrifice my sleep to play with my friends because I felt like I had to fit in. I had to play with them because to hold and keep our friendship, I felt like I just had to play video games with them every single night. I didn't want to change. I was too scared to change because I was too scared if they were to judge me. A good example of this is when I wanted to first like start making videos, but I was still hanging out with like my old group of friends like a lot and constantly playing video games with them. It's like things would just get awkward if I'm trying to do something else and they're still doing the same thing. Like you kind of clash. They'll give you shit. They'll try pull you back in saying, bro, play video games with us. We don't want you to succeed. We don't want you to get better. Believe it or not, you have to eliminate video games if you seriously care about your self-development, because the top tier guys, they're doing whatever it takes to level up in their real life to achieve more from their actual purpose. So what do, bro? They sell their console. I sold my PS5. It's just a distraction. Yeah, it's fun. I'm not saying video games aren't fun, but believe it or not, bro, you're going to have a whole lot more fun leveling up in the real world, because what is like the main incentive of why you play video games? Progression and competition. Two things which you can strive for in the real world, believe it or not. We all crave competition and progression. I'm truthfully saying that, yes, I love competition. I love progressing. And everyone that's addicted to video games, they can say the same thing. The only thing is they're getting their fake source of it. They're getting like the artificial, easy source of progression. Like you play, let's say, COD, and you reach level 100 to get like some skin on a gun. Then you get this fake sort of status, which only your friends really care about in like this little social group that you're in. And it means a lot to you and your friends. But guess what? Outside of that, externally, bro, no one gives a fuck. You're going to go on a date. You're going to talk about your prestige 10 in a video game. It doesn't mean anything. It's just the harsh truth, which a lot of young guys have to hear. And it's probably something you have to hear. And it's definitely something the younger version of myself would have to hear, because I was so heavily addicted to playing like NBA 2K, FIFA, really just like all the sports games. Wasn't really too into like gun games and stuff like that. But I was so heavily addicted to sport games. Like I constantly play these. I constantly try my best to become the best at these games and constantly be the best out of all my friends, because it felt like I'd get this status like, oh, I'm the best guy. Yeah, it brings a little smile on your face and it feels good winning in a game. I'm not saying games aren't fun. What I'm saying is, as soon as you turn the off button on the console, the fun disappears, bro. You're just like, why'd I waste all that time? Now I'm going to be sleep deprived. No one externally really knows about these accomplishments. So why the fuck do I care so much about them? They honestly don't mean much. And you're probably asking yourself, oh, but it's 1 hour video games is okay, right? I need to play 1 hour video games. What else am I going to do? What else am I going to replace it with? Well, honestly, ask yourself and say to yourself, I'm going to replace it with another activity that has a similar feeling of progression and achievement. My best recommendation for this is weightlifting. The gym. You go into the gym, you're level 1 noob, you have no muscle, you're a skinny, awkward kid. You build yourself up like a video game. You earn it the hard way. And you're slowly going to start to realize that how much more like purposeful and fulfilling this actually is, progressing in the real world compared to this virtual fake source of dopamine. The real dopamine you get from, let's say, getting bigger biceps, improving your physique month to month, year to year. There's no better feeling. Like right now, I can just sit in an empty room and have a smile on my face because I know all the work I've put in. I know that I've built this body I have. No one can take that away from you. No one can delete your body, whereas someone can just delete your progress in the game. No one can delete you in real life. And finally, if you're coping and you keep saying to yourself, oh, what if my friends talk shit about me because I've stopped playing with them? Bro, if you're watching this video, you care a lot about your self-improvement, so you want to become better. The unfortunate reality is you probably just should stop being friends with video gamers if you really want to quit it, right? If you really want to become better and improve yourself, become as high status as you possibly can. Understand at first, yeah, this probably seems like a big commitment for you to go to 8 hours to 0 instantly. There's two approaches you can take when you're like trying to eliminate these bad habits. One's cold turkey. Cold turkey is pretty much when you go from, let's say, playing video games for 8 hours a day, and you go from zero instantly. From this, yeah, you're going to experience and get progress a whole lot faster because you've just eliminated this habit completely. However, like the withdrawal symptoms you're possibly going to get from going from 8 hours to zero, they're going to be extremely high. Like it's just a really unsustainable approach of doing so when you're trying to eliminate a bad habit. The other approach is you want a progressive overload. It's the same thing with gym. I didn't walk into the gym for the first time expecting to bench 100 kilos. My head will get crushed. I don't expect you to go from playing 8 hours of video games a day to zero instantly. You got to take progressive incremental steps. So first, become aware of this. And if you're watching this video, you're probably now aware of this. Say you ask yourself, how many hours of video games am I playing a day? Let's say you're playing 6 hours a day. Okay, you write this down and you say to yourself, tomorrow or next week, I'm only going to play it for 5 hours. I'm going to just try to decrease it by 1 hour. The withdrawal symptoms won't be as high. It's a lot more accomplishable mentally. I'm not just leaving and ditching my friends instantly. It's a slow and steady, gradual progress. It's what I did, and it's what really helped me so much. Like, I tried going cold turkey with video games, but I'd always find myself relapsing and would always be in my chair and just headset on and would always find myself back in the loophole of feeling and craving this need to just get this fake sort of status and progress from the virtual world. It was really hard at first, but I wish I could tell my younger self that the best approach to take when to like combat your addictions is to have the progressive overload approach. And finally, it is better to be alone than with negative influences. That's the harsh truth you have to hear. Like, let's be real, bro. You're starting to care a lot more about your self-development, your self-improvement, and you're slowly starting to realize your old group of friends, the only relatable habit you have with them is video games, and that's something you don't want to engage in anymore. So do you even relate to your old group of friends as much as you once did? You're constantly growing, you're constantly leveling up, and they're staying down here. So, like, why do you keep hanging out with them? One, they just keep talking shit about you. Two, they don't want you to progress. It's like, bro, what even is real friendship? Real friends want you to progress. Real friends want you to become better. And if these negative influences don't want that from you, it's like, bro, you're going to be a whole lot better off just being alone and cutting them off, brother. Get rid of the crabs. And number 3, we have sugar. I would always have like a severe junk food addiction and would always constantly search for like the snacks at like the back of the pantry. Like you have to like reach over so far and would just consume them like a little rat. That was me. My diet was messed up. I'd always consume shit with my friends like KFC, burgers and chips, Macca's, pizza, any shit you can think of, I would always consume. Even when I just started gym, I was still like indulging this food, which made me feel so good in the moment. But as soon as I took that last bite, I'd get these feelings of regret and be like, bro, why did I take a bite of that? Now it's going to take me like 2 to 3 months longer to build the aesthetic physique I want. So the mindset, which really helped me with like trying to combat sugar and like fast food, is first, try to think to yourself every day what the dream result you're wanting out of like your work or in the gym. Like generally ask yourself, the more you can become aware of like what your long-term goal is, the more you're going to start to align your habits with that. When you're unaware of the fact that, let's say you want to build an aesthetic physique and you don't really have that goal in mind often, guess what? You don't care about it as much. You're more likely to just engage in these bad habits like eating junk food because you don't really care about your goal as much. Yeah, you're going to the gym 2-3 times a week, but you keep having these periods of like when you just become your subconscious version of yourself. And it's almost like you just indulge in a food coma. And then as soon as the fun's over, then you realize, oh shit, I care about building a physique. Oh, it's all right. Cheating on my diet once is okay. Whatever. You go through another week of being locked in. The weekend rolls around. The same like unconscious period comes around, and you just keep indulging in this food coma. You're stuck in this cycle of Monday to Friday. Yeah, you're working out pretty hard. You're pushing really hard in the gym. But as soon as the weekend rolls around, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're just saying, oh, it's the weekend. I can have fun now. I can indulge in junk food. It's all about balance. If you're watching this video, bro, you don't give a fuck about balance. You want to become the best at what you do. So I'm telling you, if you want to become the best, you have to go through a period of this extreme lifestyle of not cheating on your diet, aligning everything with your dream goal, because the top tier guys, bro, they're doing everything they can to reach their goal as fast as they can. And you coping and saying, oh, I need balance. I need to take a bite of this burger. It makes me feel good. Brother, you're not going to reach your dream goals. It's going to take you a whole lot more longer to reach and attain your dream goals. Number 2, we have eliminate snacks from environment. When I started to realize, like, okay, there is so much junk in my household, it came to a point where I had to start whispering in my mum's ear, stop buying this, stop buying that. It's poison. It's not making me feel good. When you start to eliminate this poison shit from your environment, guess what? It's no longer within reach. You can't just go to your pantry or fridge and just grab shit to just snack on in the middle of the night where these cravings are the highest. There is not an option. You have to eliminate that option. When there's an option of doing something which is bad, you're twice as likely to do it. When you eliminate the option, 0% chance you can do it. When you get rid of the crabs and shit that's holding and pulling you back, when you eliminate that part of the equation, then guess what? Then you're going to start to implement stuff which promotes and improves you. So when you've eliminated the bad stuff, okay, now you're going to be a whole lot more likely to go to the grocery store and start buying food which benefits you, which makes you feel good, which keeps you fuller for longer, which helps you build muscle at a faster rate. Finally, become aware of the negative feelings you feel after falling for your cravings. Every time you take a bite of that Big Mac, become aware of how you feel after. You feel like shit, you feel like regret. So the smart thing to do would be, okay, I'm not going to do this again, because the future version of me, every single time I indulge in this habit of eating pizza, putting my hands in the packet of chips, I feel like shit. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I want to invest in the future me. I want to eat the healthy, filling food, which makes me feel good about myself, which makes me feel like I'm on the right track to becoming a better person. Take action. Stop being a fatty, all right? Here's a quick actionable step for you. Ask yourself, what are your hot triggers? What makes you fall into them? How could I set up an environment where those hot triggers don't bother me? Do this right now. Get a pen and paper, write down what are your hot triggers and how you can remove them. You're probably going to forget I posted this video in like 1 to 2 days. Like, yeah, you're probably super motivated now to become a better version of yourself, but let's be realistic. You're probably never going to take action. If you truly care about your self-improvement journey, you're going to take action right now. You're going to get a pen and paper. You're going to write down what are my hot triggers and how can I set up an environment where they just don't bother me. Take action, please. I hope this advice was valuable and that it motivates and gives you the education you need to resist bad habits. Leave a comment about the bad habit you struggle with most down below. Like and subscribe for more videos about self-improvement. I'll see you in the next video. What?